On this episode of Second Chance Stories, we're going to showcase for you Merida and Ellie. Both were originally named Sugar when they came to the animal shelter and just so happened to be adopted by the same family. All right, well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming on out here, and thank you for doing this too. Officer Goodell, let's start with you. We're going to start with Miss Merida.
Okay.
Hey, Merida.
Sure, we'll call her Sugar number 1.
Yeah.
She was found on a side road outside of Gainesville.
In 2018, I think.
In 2018,
right?
yeah, I'd forgotten the year. The gal who found her when she made the call said she probably needs to be put down. She was in rough shape. So I picked her up, and she definitely had some kind of hole in the top of her head and something out of the bottom. There was a lot of pus and bugs, and nostril was like oozing this stuff. She was extremely thin, lethargic. So I picked her up, and we went right to the vet clinic thinking maybe it was going to have to be a euthanized dog, that she was in that bad shape. And the vet clinic felt that a couple IVs, days on IVs and antibiotics. They cleaned the wound. That's when we discovered that she had been shot in the head. Somebody probably had tried to kill her, and it had not hit enough of the brain to kill her, but it had gone through the roof of her mouth, took a chunk of her tongue, and come out the bottom of her jaw. So she has a piece of tongue where the bullet went through, missing, and anyway, she survived. And this couple came in looking for a dog, and she has been medically needed a lot of care, a lot of sinus problems. Probably the bullet did a lot of damage going through her sinus cavity. So we had her spayed and neutered and medicated, teeth cleaning. Her teeth were in really bad shape. So wherever she lived prior to coming in was probably not a good environment. But she was sweet. I guess that's why I named her Sugar. So
yeah. Well, I can attest to the medical part of things. Animal Friends of Wyoming County sponsored Sugar at that time, but Merida, for her medical bills. And I actually have a copy of her medical records because trying to remember all the things that happened to her. It says here when she came in, there was a possible abscess under the chin, which turned out to be true. 2 holes on the jaw, a nick on her neck. Her right dew claw was damaged with this pruning discharge coming from her nose. She wasn't eating. Her ears seemed to bother her. She had a bad ear infection. And so she was in rough conditions. They thought she had a tooth abscess, and they diagnosed her with a grade 3 dental, which out of a scale of 1 to 4, grade 3 is pretty severe, pretty bad up there. They could not find a spay scar, so we eventually did get her spayed. And Animal Friends, when we sponsor dogs here at the animal shelter through our Spay Our Stray program, it doesn't just spay and neuter them. It's for vet care like this, where we covered the first visit that they came in, and then we cover their dental procedure, like in the case of Merida. And so that was a pretty big bill, but that's what Animal Friends is here for. And so with her teeth cleaning, everything actually looked pretty good despite how much tartar she had and how bad everything was. There was some bone loss, from what I could tell, but not to the point on a couple teeth where they had to extract it. There was one tooth that was fractured, and so they had to extract it, probably where the bullet went through or close to it. So that's on Merida herself. Now, how about her sister that came into the picture a couple years later, this year actually, in 2023?
Yeah. So that was a end of April call that there was a dog that kept weaving in and out of traffic on a road near here, but the traffic was heavy. It's a side road, but it was heavy traffic. And you went with me to get her, and we spent almost 7 hours between getting the truck, arriving there, and then tracking her. She would go up and down the road, be about 3 yards from us, but wouldn't come close. Mm-hmm. She followed a gentleman back to his house on a side road, and then went up to a farm where they had caught her the night before and put her in a horse stall. And were going to call us the next day, and someone come in to work on their horses and by mistake opened the door and let her out. So then she was free roaming again. So after much to do, we caught her. But she was very shy. She still is. more of a loner, but having another dog. And we named her Sugar here, so there's 2 Sugars. And I don't think I've ever named any other dog Sugars, but these 2. And how funny they ended up in the same home. She still is more of a loner, but this has been good for her to have a sister to grow up with and be with. I believe she was probably a dog kenneled and probably born in a kennel and was just an outside dog. So she's got a lot to figure out to be a normal house dog.
Yeah, I would get from as close as I am to this this lamp here, and then she'd wander right away. She didn't want to get too close, you know, so someone could catch her. So Ellie was very difficult to get her. But once we got her and we got her used to the environment here at the shelter and associate with other dogs, she was just a sweetheart. She really was such a sweetheart. We had families fighting over to get her, and we just wanted the best and perfect home for her. And then came in the Worthingtons, right? I want to make sure I didn't say that wrong. Sorry.
Here, I'll pass my mic down to them.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, here you guys go. So tell us what inspired you or wanted you to adopt another dog? Or, well, let's start off with Merida, to get a dog in general.
So actually the young lady that found Merida was actually her best friend.
Yeah, been my friend for I think 14 or 15 years now, so we've been together for a long time.
Awesome.
So yeah, she told us, she's like, hey, you know, there's this dog that just got picked up by the shelter. She's the sweetest thing ever, though. Like, you guys should look into her, because we were thinking about getting a dog. And it just happened that we called and got a hold of Jessica pretty quickly. And that was before any of the surgeries, though, so you guys didn't even know if she was going to make it. But she came through. She's doing absolutely fine now.
Yep.
They're so sweet together. That is so cool that they both wound up in the same homes and they're doing so well together. So how has Merida been since she's been adopted in her forever home?
Fantastic. Perry Vet is her favorite place to go. Every time she goes, she's like the happiest dog in the world. And I swear all the coos that come from the staff as soon as she walks in the door. But yeah, she's been really great, very friendly. She's gotten along with our cats. She like jumps up and like gives you a hug. There's really no issues. The only thing, she hasn't really been able to get potty trained the full way, but other than that, she's been an absolute sweetheart. She cuddles, she loves, she's a lover.
Oh, good for her. And so that was in 2018. Fast forward to 2023, what inspired you guys to adopt again?
We've been looking, and then we were seeing some of the ads for some of your dogs on your site, and we love this shelter. This shelter's been, with how Merida was treated and everything you guys did, we knew we would come here again. So when we saw some of the ads, we wanted to come in and look, and then we met Sugar, now Ellie, and we just fell in love. So she just was such a sweetie. She's timid, but she's getting to the point now where she'll let us like hand feed her, like we can give her treats or rawhides and she'll take them happily. She's still skittish, but getting more and more used to the environment. She loves to just lay in a corner of her room while we're doing something in that room. But yeah, so she's getting more confident and comfortable. Definitely very intelligent. Very, very intelligent.
Yeah, I was trying to encourage.
She doesn't really follow commands too often. We're still working on that. We've just been focused. We've only had her for 3-4 weeks now, and just basic trust is her biggest issue right now. Hi, Charlotte.
Charlotte's like, out, you can pet me. Huh.
But trust has been her biggest issue up to this point. So training is kind of secondary to that.
So her potty training is, she's struggling like when you're at night or all the time?
At night, they're fine. We do crate them both at night.
Yeah.
I mean, we found that with any dog that we've ever had, like, they just like that safe space where they can go and no one's going to bug them. So we put them in the crate at night, and I don't think we've had any issues. She didn't like it when we had a blanket in there. She would pee on the blanket, but as soon as the blanket went away, she was
She wants to shake.
She has the treats.
Um,
So we took the blanket out. She was happy and loved it in there again. So potty training in the crate hasn't been really an issue with either of them.
She's starting to alert to go outside. She came and got me today, so we're starting to pick up on what her signals are.
Yep.
So she and Merida both definitely have signals, but they're very subtle, and you have to catch them very quickly because then they'll go run into the corner, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
But
But she's getting there.
she's definitely getting there for sure.
What are you doing?
We found the best thing for her is to just be with her, like instead of putting her out on her own, to just walk her on the leash, and then she does much better outside. She's much more confident and comfortable. I do think, like you said, that she spent a lot of time outside.
Yeah, alone.
Yeah.
Mary. Hey, come on in here.
Mary.
Yeah. Oh,
There's your little girl.
Hey, Mary. Hey there, Ellie. How you guys doing? Well, they look great. They look like they're bonding quite well.
Yeah, no, they're doing great together.
The car ride here was
The car ride was hysterical.
Oh boy.
Ellie knows how to ride for some reason. She knows to lay right down.
Uh-huh.
She's stable. She's steady. Merida has never learned to ride in the car.
Oh.
She always has to be standing.
Oh,
The one weird thing about Merida that we could never figure out, she won't sit. She can sit. She does sit, but it's very special circumstances.
Really?
It doesn't seem very natural for her. We don't know why. Her legs just kind of splay everywhere when she sits.
Huh.
So like sitting in a car doesn't happen. So she's very unsteady the entire car ride.
Yeah.
She will sit for one thing. She has a ritual. When we give her allergy pill in the afternoon, she sits for her allergy pill, and then she gets her busy bone afterwards, and she dances for that busy bone. She's it's so fun.
Oh, that's good. Well, it sounds like they're doing great, and they're thriving, and they're in a good home, obviously. So this is Charlotte. You do not need to eat every treat they have, okay? Yeah, you don't need to.
Don't eat the mic either.
Right?
She looks like she's hungry.
Well, they.
Yeah, real hungry.
No, Charlotte.
Her too.
Right?
No, when we first got these two from being here at the shelter, you could count the ribs without even having to feel them out. And, well, no problem anymore here.
No.
And
When
Ellie's
they come in,
starting to
it
fill
takes
up.
a long time.
Yeah. Just
To-
learning to trust to eat
Yes,
is an issue.
And they're fed good here, but it's just a cycle.
Yep.
They have to
Yep.
time has to go by. Yeah.
They just got to get oriented again.
And I think that the energy that they burn off here when they're nervous in
Yeah.
a pen, it doesn't allow them to gain like they would in their home,
Right.
where they're laying out and they know the routine, they know the sounds. Here, there's a lot going on.
Well, you guys did amazing with them. I mean, she wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. So
Hounds are hard to place. A lot of shelters struggle with hounds. So when you see a family come in that are willing to take a hound, you gobble them up because they're hard. They can be hard to place. So I don't know. Some of it's their bark, some of it's their activity. Sometimes their hounds have a tendency to not be people oriented. They're more driven, more of a working dog. But obviously they love people. Look at your two. So yeah, sometimes they're not as personable as a lab who will come right over to somebody. They're a little offish, and some people think the dog picks them. Well, a hound will come out with a family and just wander around and look at everybody, and some dogs will go right to people. They don't. Hounds have a tendency not to do that. At least that's been my experience. And so they're not the dog that they pick because they want the dog to pick them. So sometimes you just have to trust that you're finding the dog you want. So
And hounds are known to be big barkers, right?
yeah, and generally an outside dog because they're a hunting dog.
Yeah, that's the one weird thing about these two is they virtually have no voice. Like they will make noise if they have to, but as far as barking goes, these two have been fairly mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if I obviously remember Ellie because she was just here within the past couple months, but I don't remember the barking at all, like you would think. So, yeah.
No, she's been fairly quiet. She's the only time we've heard her bark is when we first got her when she was defending her food. But it was just a woof to get the cat to go away.
Yeah. A warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Merida's the same way.
Less voice even.
Yeah.
Like it takes something special. She squeaks. She does like a little squeal when she wants something.
Yeah.
Like when we give her that bone after her med, she'll squeal and woof for that, but that's about it.
Or she'll do her dramatic sigh of like, oh, I gotta lay down now.
Well, thank you guys so much for adopting and adopting twice, and it just was so coincidental. They both came in as sugars and everything. It's just it's yeah, right. It's yes, they look like they're related. It's really great. It's a picture perfect family. We are so happy with adoptions like these and their stories. Thank you so much for bringing them back out here to tell their stories, because people need to know when you donate to Animal Friends of Wyoming County, you're helping dogs like Ellie and Merida.
Yep.
And it's a big deal. These guys, they cost a pretty penny sometimes. Not all shelters are willing to put up that.
For sure.
So when you donate to Animal Friends of Wyoming County, you help dogs like this. And if you donate to this project, you help make these videos that you're seeing right here, so we could keep spreading the word on what we got going on and what we're doing. So thank you guys so much for bringing them out here.
Sure, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming out and helping us do this. And if you want to learn more about Animal Friends of Wyoming County, go to our website, www.animalfriendsofwyco.com. Click on the CHOW Project, where you can see more second chance stories and videos like this, and learn more about our podcasts and educational videos, and donate to our Spay Our Stray Program or to our CHOW Project. Every penny goes to help these dogs and help promote better health and animal awareness and well-being and education. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, goodbye.